interception. We don't know so. What a remarkable drive, man. That's an all-American drive right here.
It's not exactly unwarranted. Like, when you have a guy as that electric.
The legend himself, the GOAT, Dre Crowell.
Where my warm bottle movement at?
That kills your argument right there.
Anything can happen. This game is not over.
What's good, Relocation Football League fans? It's your boy Smitty, joined here with Bill. Rob unable to join us. Want to give a shout out to Rob though, because my guy got a brand new job, making $10,000 more a year. Let's give a big shout out to Mix in the chat. And let's get hashtag Mix in the channel, man. So shout out to him. He'll be joining us most likely next week, and of course he'll be in the booth probably most likely tomorrow to call the game. But we're about to go ahead and dive into these games as we usually do, right? Talk about week 11, get into week 12, give our predictions. It's going to be a short week 12. But Bill, looking at week 12, we got some bangers. Almost every game is fire. Every game on that, this coming up this week, out of the 8 games we got, there's some heat. Can't wait to go over that. And then, of course, usual stuff. We'll talk a little bit. I'm going to also talk. I don't have any graphics for this, but I will talk about quarterbacks that are on the hot seat. I think this is more so with the CPU teams. There's a lot of CPU teams right now that are having situations with their quarterbacks where some young guys might get an opportunity to play. Who's it going to be? We'll find out. But we'll talk about that after we go over our predictions and things like that. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into week 11. And we start off with the Barons and the Steamers, right? Barons getting defeated 5-6 on the season. The Steamers continue their undefeated streak. These guys are 11-0. Steamers are balling, man. Absolutely balling. If I'm not mistaken, this is their best franchise start without a loss in history. And I'm going to be honest here, too. For a minute, it was actually a really solid game. I really liked how Kenny Steele was running the ball. It was throwing the ball. I mean, no interceptions by Ryan Brinker, but he made some pretty good throws at times within that game. And how about Q-Pac, man? Q-Pac's really shaping out to be quite a solid wide receiver, man. Picking up where he left off even better from last season. I think he had over 800 yards receiving last year. But he's definitely on pace to get even 1,000. Who knows? But in the end, Reed Wagner and Amir Williams, another player that's coming into his own, that's killing it, came from the same draft class. They just did damage, man. Over 400 yards passing for Wagner. That's a light day. And Williams over 100 yards rushing on the ground. He's got 10 rushing touchdowns on the season. With Amir Williams now being on this type of wavelength with his performance, what is your thoughts on, how much that increases the dangerousness of this already dangerous offense and how tough it is to stop an offense that can just about do anything they want to?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge deal, because going back even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when the Steamers were playing really good, but there was always one spot, and even though he was a beast, there seemed to always be some level of inconsistency, or maybe not fitting with the game plan with Myles Kerrigan. He was a great player. He is a great player, but he didn't always fit, I would say, the complete offense for what makes the Steamers tick, because of the high passing rates and the speed at receiver. Now Amir comes in, and I said this last year when he drafted him, this is a perfect fit for Amir Williams after seeing what he did at Miami, and now seeing him come into his own here in the RFL. Man, it makes this Steamers offense seem almost like unstoppable, especially when Reed Wagner, if Wagner is protecting the ball, it's almost game over for anybody.
Yeah, Reed Wagner is going crazy right now, leading for MVP still. But it's crazy because it's kind of seeming like a battle for that. But I think he's got the best statistics by far so far this season out of anybody, no matter what position you play. He's just been that lights out. The run game, like we talked about, Amir Williams just really killing the game with that. And nobody expected the Barons to win this, right? I mean, even with the home field advantage, but at least they showed something. And ever since, I'll say about 4 weeks ago, where, things were getting really hard for this team and a lot of hot takes on this team, and even my opinions on the team and rolling, they figured something out to have this team at least compete. And this is all I've been, I feel like I'm saying this every week now, and that's a good thing, right? Because it's hard to be consistently saying the Barons are doing good. I'm not expecting this team to make the playoffs at all at this point, But one thing I always wanted to see from Roland and the Barons was this, right?
Yeah.
Still 17-point loss here, but it's the Steamers,
Yeah.
man. This team hasn't lost, but I love the way Steele's looking. I love the way Ryan Brinker is throwing the ball now that he's in the pro offense. I love the fact that he's got these wide receivers, and look at what Ryan Brinker's doing. He's spreading that ball out. Machiavelli's getting catches. You got, of course, Mari Manuel's getting catches, leading the team. He's absolutely killing it, close to 1,000 yards on the season. And then you got even Marcus Young, who we traded for from the Gunners just last year. Everybody's eating. Patrick Bain's still eating at the tight end position. It's great, and the defense is now getting better. So with all that going on, that's just all I want to see from the Barons here. Nothing shocking here. Tough to be 5-6, but at the end of the day, this is a much better Barons team, and I just hope to continue to see it. And I just cannot wait to see, what the rest of the season has to hold, even for the Steamers, right? Because, I mean, these guys are rolling. You know what teams they got up next. They got they got the T-Birds. They got some heat coming. And if they can weather the storm and make it through both of those games, that should tell us all we need to know about just how dangerous this Memphis Steamers team is, right? Great comeback. All right, talk about quarterbacks on the hot seat. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up right now. At first, if Wolf came out here and played bad, Poole was going to be playing for sure, probably within this game or next season, right? And what got me to that decision was, Wolf was actually doing pretty good in the beginning of the season. The issue just became he just started throwing the ball erratically. And I know it's the style of offense he's in, but he's also shown that he could be very explosive in offense, right? I just didn't think it would be that string of taking L's and making bad decisions and losing the teams that they shouldn't have, like the Pioneers and Armadillos and things like that. If he was playing better, this is a clear playoff team, easy running the North, right? And so that's what my concerns were with Holden Wolf. But he came out here, faced off against a hot Celtic Tigers team that was 9-1, who's got some solid wins under their belt, and they had the home field advantage and they held it down. It's a good battle, but the Huskies, the defense showed up as expected, and the reason why is they've been inconsistent this year, right? They've been very inconsistent on the defensive side of the ball because we know what talent they got. They got Saquon Lattimore added. They got Calvin Lunsford added, and all the AJ Pestock, all these big names, and we know that they are capable of stopping teams like this. They just haven't been able to do it consistently. They do it against the Celtic Tigers. Holden Wolf over 300 yards passing. No interceptions in this game. 2 touchdowns. And Justin Jones, just a mid-show, was missing a lot of passes, and defense was really getting to him. Keith Guyton near 100 yards. And it was just a great, solid game for the Huskies. They're 6-4. The ARC North is looking crazy right now because all teams are 6-4. But this is a big win here for the Huskies. What's your thoughts on it?
Bro, can anybody hear the bird chirping from my mic?
Nah, I can't hear the bird.
No, okay, good, because it's super nice out here in Wisconsin. Finally, if you're from around the area, And so I got the window open, and this bird is just dead set.
It's somebody that's it's like a bird that you don't even own that's making that.
Yeah,
noise?
no, it's just a bird, it's
okay.
just chilling right out in the tree outside my window here on the other side of my monitors. And it's like I don't want to close the window because then it's gonna get hot in here. Right, and the PC makes it hot in here, and it's like, but this bird is literally sitting like right there, and it's just going tweet, 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 tweet,
He's just
literally every
podcast,
5 seconds.
Man. He's interested.
I just want to make sure nobody's hearing it. So if we're all good, then we're all good. But anyway, as for this game, that's good because I wasn't about to close the window. But anyway, the Huskies, I think we're all expecting the Huskies to play well. I would say that they've underperformed based off of preseason expectations. But this is also a great Celtic Tigers team, and some teams just have they just sort of seem to go through these phases, right? We even saw it with the Voyagers last year, where there's just this up and down period where you're sort of guessing things and you're wondering what's coming next and if they're going to be able to maintain or get back. And eventually, at the end of the day, most good teams always find a way to get back on track. And I think the Huskies, between the good young players they brought on and the veteran leadership they still have, they'll be able to figure that out. And this kind of a game shows that. This is a good Celtic Tigers team, and they really shut it down. That offense is potent, and for them to hold them to 16 points, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, nothing too much to say there. We'll talk more about that division because, like I said, it's looking crazy. There's a few games here. I'm about to pull up the Premier games that don't have pictures because they just didn't have them. So, Bill, I don't know if you're still there. It looks like you just got your camera just cut off. Bill, can you hear me? Yeah, somebody's internet must have went out on my boy again. I thought he said that the weather was looking good out there. Don't know what happened. But I guess in the meantime, is he doing this on purpose? Oh, I forgot. Oh yeah, he's definitely out of here. Bill, you can hear me, can't you? He said, "Come on now, Speedy, keep up." Okay, yeah. He doesn't want to talk about this. Anyway, doesn't even want to show his face. I just peeped that this was the first game. But yeah, 31-15, the final score. The Tigers get the upset. And man, I just really want to talk about the Tigers, right? Because I still felt like, well, not still feel this way, but since they were able to come up with this big win, I don't see how they don't make the playoffs for real, to be honest. I mean, I still feel like they got a pretty good shot because even if they lose to the Explorers next time they play and they lose to the Thunderbirds, their last two games are winnable games. They already destroyed the Barons, even though they're looking like a different team, so maybe they can ruin their hopes, but I still feel like the Tigers are going to be able to win. They're going to be a better team. And then for the other team that they play is the Shamrocks. Shamrocks, they put up a good fight every week, but they just lose. They can't find a way to win. They always lose in close games, and you know that's just been their identity for the last 2 to 3 years, right? So that's tough. But yeah, the Explorers had the home field advantage here. Of course, expected to win, and Kai Cash came out here getting it done, man. Threw for 3 touchdowns, ran the ball well, and a guy I got to play the bell for. Of course, Bill gets the bell. But I definitely got to give the bell to what's his name? To Daryl Johnson, man. And yeah, something must have really happened to Bill because, like I said, I don't think he would have ducked out like this, man. Bill really, I think he got cut out or something. Something had to happen. I'm gonna go to the solo cam right now. But yeah, yeah, Daryl Johnson played horrendous in this game. Just last week, this guy clutched out a crazy comeback to kick the game-winning field goal to come back in an almost close loss to I got to check and see. I can't remember exactly who was they I had to clutch that out against. Let me go ahead and check that again real fast. Forgot to check that, my guy, so that's on me. But let's see, look at the teams. But it was just last week, man. The Columbus Explorers were in a situation where we're like, oh snap, these guys about to lose. Okay, yeah, the London Monarchs. The Monarchs, they almost lost to the Monarchs. Monarchs are a pretty solid team when they want to be, but they still have been inconsistent. But we know that they got talent, right? And so they almost lost that. And that was a heartbreaking loss for Ramos and the Monarchs there. But, you know, that kind of had us like scratching our heads like, I don't know about this. But sometimes when you have a good team like that facing adversity and they find a way to come out on top, you know, that's kind of what the Explorers did last season when they went undefeated and won a championship, right? But this year, you know, it's just looking too close at times. The team just doesn't seem to have its, you know, the same pop as it usually does. And so, you know, the Tigers took full advantage of that. They were fully prepared and ready to do battle on the road in Columbus. And they got it done, man, by 16 points. That was huge. Very huge. Looking in the chat, it says 2 straight weeks. Hitting. Yeah, I know, right? Guys falling out. Hells and bells, yep. But yeah, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, guys. That's a tough loss for the Explorers. Nothing really too much to say there. I mean, just turnovers killed them. You got to give a shout out. We need to get hashtag Tigers in the chat, though. Got to give those dudes credit for what they were able to do, right? That's a big one. That is a very big win for them. They're sitting at 7-3, trying to make the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. Stein has been a great coach for this team, doing everything he can to try to make sure that this team is ready to be that next, you know, top team within the league. Of course, still got a ways to go, but you just beat one of the top teams. And so, I mean, that says a lot. They beat a couple of top end teams that were ranking within the top 10 on my power ranking. So you got to give it to them. Got to give it to the Tigers, man. Do I think they're going to win a championship or anything or even come close? No. I definitely don't see that. Still going to stick by that. But I tell you one thing they changed my mind on, being a playoff team. I think they can sure enough be a playoff team, you know, and if they beat the Explorers, you know, who's to say they, for whatever reason, it can happen. You never know if it could be a sweep just because the Explorers are not on their game. They could even beat the Thunderbirds somehow, possibly. Just you know those division games go, and I just definitely feel like they got the upper hand and should be the favorite within the Barons and the Shamrocks game. So yeah, Tigers. Shout out to you guys, man. You guys are doing your thing. So having the Explorers only lost 2 games this year. Yeah, they only lost 2. They lost to the Thunderbirds, which, is not a shock. And then this one was a shock, though. I mean, nobody expected them to lose to the Tigers. But if anybody's been paying attention to the NRC North, the Tigers, any team really in this division, even though the Tigers and the Barons are looked at as the low-end teams, they have beaten the Explorers and the Thunderbirds before. So, I mean, this is a very much capable team that's going to hang with you. But they got the job done this week. So shout out to the Tigers. All right, game 2. We had the Dreadnoughts taking on the Armadillos. Dreadnoughts getting the sweep here on the Dillos. Another close game. It really was ugly for these guys. Last time they played in the beginning, the Armadillos snapped more so in the second half to come back to get within 10, and they ended up losing. I think it was 11. I think it was 37-26 the final score. This time around, it's 23-16. Much better fight, but at the end of the day, KJ could not be stopped again, and they got the job done. And this is a big win for the Dreadnoughts. And these are wins that teams in the South need to get over the Armadillos when you play them, because they came out hot. They got some big wins. This is one of the teams that I talked about that beat the Huskies. So they got a really good head start out on their season record-wise, and they're still leading the ARC South. So for them to be able to get this victory, that helps them out a lot to still compete for the South. And the Armadillos just seem to be now more so in decline, falling off of that high road that they started off the season with. And so if this is how it is, then, now with this win, the Dreadnoughts got a shot to compete for the division. The Miners shot to compete for the division. Even the Bison still got a shot to compete for the division, even though, they're more so on the low end taking L's, but they're starting to come out of that little by little. But the Bisons, the Dreadnoughts, Armadillos, any team is still kind of thrown up there, and it's the Armadillos' chance to lose the opportunity, right? And that's not good. These guys should be able to make the playoffs with the way they started out with what they had, and they just got to find ways to win to be able to punch their ticket in for the first time in franchise history to the playoffs. And it just didn't happen. It was a good game nonetheless, though. Trey Sinclair, he's got 6 interceptions on the season, so shout out to him. Old head still out there balling. And yeah, the Armadillos, let me go ahead and get a look at these standings now. Armadillos, I think they're now 8-3, if I'm not mistaken here. You see standings. Yeah, Armadillos are 8-3, and as for the Dreadnoughts, they are 7-3. So the only thing is they haven't played an extra game, and I think the Armadillos, if I'm not mistaken, have a bye week this week. So with the Dreadnoughts getting a win whenever they play next, or if they get an auto win, these guys are there goes Bill. These guys are going to be right back into the playoffs, man. It's crazy how your internet seemed to have gone off when it was Explorers time.
My whole screen, everything just shut down. Everything. My computer shut off. My lights shut off. Everything.
Yeah,
and I had to restart.
Pitch black in the back. There's no lights.
It's really weird.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Got up,
but I was being able to hear you like the whole time up until like 2 minutes after. After I initially cut out, and then when I restarted my computer, I was already connected to Discord.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. The PC does it, but
bro, that was weird.
Yeah, it seemed like your house had timed up that Explorers segment.
We're already on that.
That was the first premiere game that we were just about to cover.
I didn't even know we were on the first premiere game already. We can go back to that. I wasn't trying to duck that.
No, I know you weren't, but I was just saying, because dudes were trying to say you were doing it at first. I was just like,
no.
At first, I was just like, nah, it looked like his stuff legit cut off, but then I started
everything just cut off, man. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
The bird left now.
But yeah, I guess because I'm finished talking about this, my last two would be this one. But before we get into that, I guess, what's your thoughts just on your game? How everything turned out? The Tigers already gave them their flowers and, getting their win. But anything you want to say?
I thought the Tigers came in, man. They had a good game plan, right? Regardless if you want to say that this should have been a game that we never lost, they had a good game plan, and it worked. We had a lot of our own self-inflicted wounds, but there was also times where they put us in a tough spot. And I think that the majority of this game came down to the very uncharacteristic play of DJ at the end of it, because I don't think I've ever seen him have such a bad day throwing the ball. That was very weird and obviously concerning, but it was. I really don't know how to put my finger on it, man. It was a very weird performance. Watching the game and seeing it play out, and it's just sometimes good teams. So sometimes we need a good punch in the mouth, and I feel like this could be that moment for us. Hopefully this season, hopefully we can figure out a way to rebound. But overall, I think the Tigers did come in with a good game plan. That we've always had tight matchups against the Tigers, and I think to see them be able to run up on us after so many interceptions and short fields, and that's what they were supposed to do. The Tigers of the past, to be honest with you, we've had rough games offensively against them, but their offense was not able to overcome and take advantage of those things, and we still got away with a win by a field goal or two. This game, they took advantage of every opportunity that we gave them and that they took, and it worked. It was a great game plan, and then hats off to Stein and the whole Tigers, and especially Kai Cash. I know he was excited, man. He was in my DM afterwards. He's like, "Hey, man, I love you, Bill, but I'm so happy to finally beat the Explorers." And I'm like, "Hey, that's good for you guys," and it really is. So, it was a tough game, man. It was, but we'll figure it out one way or another. We always do.
Yeah, I already said my piece about the game, so we'll go ahead and move on.
What'd you say?
I said you guys suck. but the Explorers, excuse me, the Elks took on the Shamrocks, and the Elks were in a pretty bad shake, right? They started out 7-0, best start in franchise history. Then they took 2 straight L's, and at that point we was like, okay, now they're falling off. But this is the identity of the Shamrocks. It sucks, man, because everyone was hyped to see what this team was going to do this year with the players that they got. But they always fall in this category where they're going to play a close game every game they're in and just not win. They just always lose. They can play great, but they just don't win. And so they played head-to-head as hard as they possibly could with the Elks. Almost got them out of there. And then your boy Latavian Worrell threw a beautiful dime wheel route touchdown pass in the final minute. And they took the lead. Defense had a couple more stands after that. So, man, Worrell's playing well over there. The Elks getting the win. They're now 8-2 on the season. And, of course, the Shamrocks taking a tough loss here at 4-6. What's your thoughts?
This is what I expected last year. Like, a lot of people, whether they're joking or not, a lot of people say, like, I sent Worrell to the Elks to just send him away and cast him off for the last years. I thought, and we had this conversation when I was actually thinking about making this trade, if the Elks and Worrell can work, this is a good team. They have a great running back. They had some up-and-coming receivers. Their defense at the time was coming off of one of their best seasons. No, second to best season, I'd say. Because it was like 2-3 years ago when they had that just absolutely amazing.
Smacking everybody.
Yeah, him and Buck were just going nuts. But they fell flat on their face last year. Very, very quickly. And, not to try to keep saying it, but sometimes you get an addition by subtraction, and I feel like that's what the Elks did this year, because the team is worse off than it was talent-wise, but yet they're playing well. They have the pieces in place where they should have them or where they need to have them to be competitive, and it's working out well. And Worrell fits that perfectly, and I think it's a good fit.
Yeah.
But I feel bad about the Shams, man. Somebody, just for the love of God, let Tom Wilson be great. Why can't Tom Wilson just be great? Why is this not allowed?
He's
this
great.
Is
everybody knows
every year this happens to this poor guy. Every year. It doesn't matter what year it is, what Madden it is. Wilson is just stuck.
Yeah, he's 28 now. We re-signed him though. We definitely re-signed him. Oh well, I don't think we did.
Q-Box says trade him to Riverhogs.
Trade him to me. I don't know.
Oh, he didn't say a flat out no, Q-Box. You better get in that DM real fast.
Nah, he's good. He's got to win.
No, he thought about it for a second, which means there's a crack in the shield, which means where there's a will, there's a way.
But yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's nothing really too much I could say about this game here. Shamrocks weren't expected to win. Had the home field advantage, put up a good fight, and then just came out on the losing end. This was a solid game. The Pioneers Made it pretty close towards the end. They were able to score. And I want to give a shout out to Farrell Raines, man. I don't know if you're here in the chat, but your wide receiver has been balling since you've been in the league, man.
And he deserves it, man.
And he's just been killing. And this dude had 211 receiving yards in this game against this secondary with 2 touchdowns on 7 catches. Like, it doesn't matter. He almost does stuff like this every week, no matter who he's playing. That's how good Farrell Raines is. And then you got, of course, DJ Evans, which for the last couple of weeks, I'll have to say is a mistake on my end. I told DJ Evans I would have him on the outside, but I don't know what happened. I guess they kept having Reynolds stay on the outside, and he played the slot, so he's not been getting the burn. But I have officially went back there and fixed it. Hopefully it stays. I don't know what happened with that. But TJ Reynolds been killing the game too. All the receivers been killing, right? But at the end of the day, Riverhogs 9-2 on the season right now, man. Picking right up where they left off. I think they're going to perform even better. They've beaten they beaten the Voyagers. They split with them, beaten the Red Dragons, and I feel like this Riverhogs team. Did they beat the Red Dragons? It might be a snake in here. Let me go to the.
I think they did.
Yeah, let me just make sure to check because.
Or was it like a very close game?
You see Red Dragons. Where's the Riverhogs?
Yeah, you just said it. They did.
Yeah, they beat the Red Dragons. They got to play them again. Okay, yeah, so they did beat the Red Dragons in a close one, 22-17. And that was actually, yeah, that was a few weeks ago. And here they are. It was a week before this, actually. Yeah. And then close game here against the Pioneers. Pioneers going to do this, man. They got one of the worst teams, but they got a lot of young and upcoming talent, and they can hang around from time to time. And they could definitely put up a good fight. They did that here, but it was really the Riverhogs game still. They still kept control of this, and Trey Allen was struggling big time. Well, not too bad. Well, he was bad. He forced a fumble. They got an interception on him. And yeah, that speaking of another quarterback, I guess we might not even get to the segment. This is another quarterback that might Showtime. It might be Showtime, man.
Are you sure that's his name?
I think that's his name. I ain't going with the
Are you sure that's his name?
I ain't going the other one that has anything to do with condiments.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll have to see. But, I think it might be Showtime, man. It's getting close to Showtime. I mean, and Trey Allen, he is on his last year of his contract, right?
Get him out of there.
He's on the last year of his contract. He's going to be 28 years old. Had a great first year with the Pioneers when we signed him, right? But the second year, man, it's just been, man, it's terrible. Interceptions, turning the ball over. And we just got one of the guys who were one of the quarterback of the year from the college series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might be time to throw homeboy in here.
I think it is, man.
I think
really
it's time
think
to
it
throw
is.
him in. Because, I mean, at this point, Allen,
Announce it right now.
I really don't feel like I'm going to sign him back. And
Are they playing? Are they playing this week?
Yeah, are they? I don't
Announce
think so.
it right now.
No, they're not. Because what I was going to do, I was actually going to stream to the Discord with Javier playing.
Oh,
so I was going
to
just to show guys, you just see how he's looking and stuff. But I think I am going to start him, man. I think we'll see. I'll put an announcement out. I'll make a nice little graphic. I'm gonna start getting more on the graphics. I've been doing a lot of other things lately, guys. So it's been tough for me to post consistently on Instagram like I used to. But I'm gonna try to get that information out on you. It might be 3-4 quarterbacks on CPU teams, man, that we might see.
I'm excited for that conversation we have today.
I just hope this is my biggest thing. And I hope we're not overshadowing this game. I think we still just talked about the game. I don't have the statistics because I usually don't have it on the side here for the premiere game. So apologies there, Q. I just feel like the Riverhogs, this is a game they should have won anyway. It seemed close, but I remember this game it really was in their control the whole way. But I really just hope that Javier Santana, just talking about that part, I just hope that he can distribute the ball to Farrell Raines the same way Allen has. That's my big, because I might even say this. Just play like
archetype.
Allen without interceptions. I think he's strong arm.
Okay, that's good.
Now that's a difference from Allen because Allen's a pure scrambler. And we know with scramblers has been tough. Because if when it comes to him passing, this is the thing about Allen. Even though he's throwing quite a bit of interceptions close to his touchdowns, if he was just a pure pocket passer and didn't decide to move around in the pocket and jittery like that style does, I think he would be having a great season. He's just not. You know, he's just not. And so I really feel like what's his name? Well, Javier sitting in the pocket, he could do that. Now the question is he going to make the same plays though when he throws the ball? That's the biggest thing that I'm concerned about. So I just hope that he can do that. And I think this is just about the guarantee that I'm telling you guys, but I'll still make an announcement. I think Javier Santana is going to be the starter next RFL game.
Just for my my little 2-piece on this here, or 2 cents, I should say. I think the Riverhogs, I'm not discouraged by this. Really, I'm not discouraged by this 2-point win, because the Riverhogs have proven that they can do this against top flight teams. And whether how much I want to make fun of the Pioneers from time to time, we know that this defense has been top notch at times for the last 3 years straight. Mm-hmm. They have pieces there, and they have the ability to make you pay on offense.
And they added Case and Fine.
Exactly. And I'm not too upset about a 2-point win here. The Pioneers have been known to just beat a team randomly that they shouldn't beat and just throw a wrench in everybody's playoff plans. But with the Riverhogs, I'm not discouraged at all. And as for the Pioneers, man,
this was the Nears though. Like, this was literally all Phil Raines that put these points up.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was just going to say, man, is speaking of the Pioneers, you mentioned Pharaoh Raines before. This dude deserves a lot of credit, man. He really does. Because he's been on this team. What is this, his 3rd year, 4th year?
His 4th, his re-sign season. So I think
4th year.
I think we already re-signed him, though.
This dude may not be in the Discord every day. He may not be the most talkative. But this dude has been here for 4 years. Willing to not, he doesn't complain, he doesn't do anything, he's just ready to go to work, ready to help these Pioneers, man. And he is always, like, there he is right there in the chat, man. He is always around in the chats. And, you know, you got guys sometimes, and I'm not going to name drop and make people feel bad, but
you know who you are.
Like my situation, I want to leave right now. Me. If I've only had 3 catches and I'm the 5th best and I can't do it. This guy has just been a class act, man, for the Pioneers since he got here and in the community. And it's good to see him really starting to take form here with his player, because he deserves it.
Yeah, his player plays like him. His attitude.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. It's crazy. Like, yeah, his player is really playing like if that was really him, that's how he would move. But moving on to the last 3 games, Super Saturday closed out with, I did have 2 games that we didn't get because of the premiere. So let me go back to that. One of them was the Aviators. You lucky, back. But we ain't skipping out talking on it. Aviators got stampeded by the Bulls. I'll say that. Gotta play it back. It's back. But anyway, he got stumped on by Devin Wade and the Bulls, man. Let me go ahead and pull up the schedule. Shout out to the Bulls though, man. I'm gonna give a shout to them because this team, up to the point until last week, right? They beat the Huskies, but before that, they were not playing all too great, right? They were not playing all too great, but they have nothing but division games from that Huskies game all the way to the end of the season now. But they beat the Huskies and they stomped out the Aviators, 33-7. So
you put a lot of emphasis on that stomp word.
I mean, Bulls stomp on people. But I'm just saying. I mean, it's a stomp, 33-7. I mean, that was tough, man.
I'm just saying that's is coming out real hardcore.
Maybe it's the mic. I don't know. Maybe the mic. but yeah, this was pretty bad, man. Let me go ahead and look at the statistics here, because a lot of these Premier games, guys, like this last week, I really didn't get to like tune in too much, but I did see the final scores and I did look at the stats. I can't remember the stats completely all the way, but
I got everything pulled up here.
Let's see if you okay, here we go.
Oh, clicked on the wrong.
Yeah, Marquise Washington. This is on the season. This is looking at his stats. I'm not trying to look at
right here. So, in this game, it was 33-7 Bulls. Marquise Washington, 24-35, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception, took 4 sacks. Devin Wade, 19-29, 292, 3 touchdowns, he got 2 interceptions. Wow, okay.
That boy David Jones was killing. He had 5 yard per carry average, 85 yards.
Yeah, 17 for 85. The biggest story, and you said this multiple times, man. Kingston Kenny. Shut down.
Yeah.
Shut down.
Got to play the bell for Kenny.
Down. like wasn't even there.
14 carries, 24
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah, he didn't
even
average
get a
2 yards a
quarter?
carry. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's probably the best I think anyone has shut him down ever.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Wow.
gonna lie, the Bulls defense has always been like that against the run. Like even in the
Yeah.
past, like back in the day. But like they got some dogs and some OGs still up there in the front seven that's getting it done. And shout out to Joe Johnson, man. ISO Joe been balling. He's been balling, making some big catches. Had 116 yards receiving in a touchdown that game. Brock Melton.
Brock
my man
Melton, 2
finally getting
tutties.
that 2 tutties.
There it
87.
is.
Oh my goodness. He's balling. Love to see him playing and doing what he's doing, man. And the young guy too. I think he's like 20, 21 now. So he's got some years. He's gonna be the next dog. But yeah, this is a big win because now the Bulls are leading the ARC North. We were just clowning this team a little bit ago, saying like, yo, they're dead last. They're not gonna, come back. These dudes are now leading the North. All the teams are 6-4 on the season, so I mean, you can't say you're leading the North and be excited because one loss, you're out of there, right? But yeah, they are actually leading the North right now and 2-0 in the division. So nothing I can say about that. A tough loss for the Aviators because they were leading the North until this, but still free for all in the North. Nothing else too much I could say about that.
What is the spread right now on that division? What is it, like 1 game, 2 games?
What you mean in terms of
like just where the standings are at?
Oh, they're all 6-4.
All of them. Okay.
All
all right.
of
I knew it was tight. I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure how tight.
Every single one of them is 6-4. It's crazy. Let me go look at the standings again real fast just to look at well,
These guys in here talking about South Park.
I see games.
They killed Kenny.
Oh,
I won't finish that.
They did kill Kenny.
Jeez.
I don't know why they're not showing up. Okay, it does show. Okay, this is week 12. Let's go to week 11 so I can look at this. There's one more game. I don't know if it's in the ARC. I'm blanking on. Oh yeah, I could look at the schedule. That was posted. Okay, there's one premier game we didn't talk about. Oh yeah, the Bisons and the Miners. I don't have pictures and stuff of them. So the Bisons and Miners game, that was a great game. That was a great game. 30-27 was the score. We saw we heard some talking on Dunn's podcast about this towards the end, which was hilarious. How they were coming at each other. Let me see if I can. Okay, I got it pulled up here, like on my end. You guys can't see it, but final score was 30-27. Like I said, the play was great. I mean, Torres had a solid day, man. 3 touchdowns, the 1 interception. Kadron Lusk, a tough day for him, but that's expected. The Miners have been killing run games. It's been tough to run on them, and of course, this usually how you shut down this offense. You just go after Lusk. And they shut him down 56 yards on 20 carries. Didn't see the end zone. Sam Gusto, dog. This dude, he would probably be the leading wide receiver had he not got injured earlier within the season. This dude is making some crazy plays. He had 8 catches, 162 yards, had a touchdown. Luke Chamberlain in the end zone for a few touchdowns. Getting a look at the Miners, Miles McCain, 1 for 1, interception, 1 touchdown. Just about an average day, a little bit above average in terms of yards, 287 yards. But he did piece together a nice little game-winning drive to kick the field goal. So that was great. Damani Manuel went crazy, 17 carries, 154 yards, a touchdown. Even Torres got in the end zone for a touchdown. No 100-yard receivers or anything, but and none of them got in the end zone other than Logan Starkman off of 1 catch for 2 yards. But it seemed like they finally got that run game going, right? That run game has been the issue for the Miners this entire year. And now that's saying something, right? If they can run the football and they could get, the offense usually when it's decent at passing going as well, this could be a dangerous team, right? But you can expect these type of inconsistencies with a rookie still, as great as Miles McCain at times been playing. I know he's coming off a rough game where he just threw 3 interceptions. But if he gets it together, this Miners team can be something pretty solid, man. And as for Bisons, I can't get mad at it. I know Mac was hot, but at the end of the day,
yeah, he was.
Like this was a great game. This is nothing like, I know you taking an L is tough, and I heard him talk about that, but taking an L in this fashion ain't nothing really to get mad about, because it was literally, if the Bisons had the ball in that situation, they would have won. It's all about who had the ball last in this game, and
Yeah.
the Miners had the ball last, and they were able to piece it together and get the win. And so shout out to the Miners. They were able to sweep the Bisons. I believe they've done that twice, because last year I wanted to beat them so bad with the team, because all the Bisons had to do to make the playoffs was win one game, and they lost all of them in the last like 6 weeks of the season. And so
I remember that.
Yeah, so and they end up getting swept by the Miners again. But at least this was a fight, though, because they actually got dog walked last time they played the Miners. So great win.
I just think this was a big game, I think, for Torres, even though it was a loss. Because
Yeah, it was.
I've been giving him a hard time. A lot of people have all year, but and I said this on this podcast before: if you shut Lusk down, you win this game.
Mhm.
But in this game, Lusk got shut down. He had some nice runs, but he got shut down. 20 for 56 is a bad day. But Torres still had an amazing day.
Yeah.
He might not have had the most I mean, he put this team on his back, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And that is one of the things that I have not seen him do all too often. And he did it. So I'm happy to see that for him. And if we can start piecing these together more frequently, more consistently, that's the steps that we need to see Torres take to know that he is the future of this franchise.
Yeah. All right, now we get to the last 3 games primetime. And we got stats here for this one, right? Diablos and Snowhawks. Always a great matchup because of the coaches. We know their personalities. We know they got a little podcast together. Apparently now they're hopping over there to Dunn to just make one super podcast.
You guys are moving around like NBA teams trying to make super pods.
Not winning no championships. But 25-20 was the final score. Snowhawks put up a really good fight. But at the end of the day, the Diablos got the job done on the road. It's a rough season for the Snowhawks, but they're still not out of it, right? They 6-4. This is not they took losses that they really shouldn't have to teams, but they still can get things going in their favor. They got some tiebreakers over some guys because they were able to beat a couple teams that have better records or equal records to them right now. So they're still in the funk of things. And as for the Diablos, I mean, they're looking really good. This looked like an easy way to roll through to the playoffs. Their schedule up to this point, I don't think they have no contenders to really even challenge them like that for the rest of the season. So, I mean, this is a lot of momentum if they can continue to look like this, to roll into the playoffs with this heat. And who knows, could come up with an upset, could make it to the conference championship, or even back to the Relo Bowl, something they haven't done since season 2. So what's your thoughts on this? Diablos 9-2 now on the season.
Leave it to Forbes to come in here and make sure to correct that you missed a loss on the Snowhawks. They're 6-5 apparently, he says.
Oh wow, gave you guys a benefit
you
of the doubt.
You just had to kick a guy while he's down, didn't you, Forbes? You just beat his team, and then you got to come in here.
He's going to take my L
mid podcast and be like, hey, don't forget it's 5 games that he lost. All right, he's almost down to 500. Don't forget that part. Whatever, Forbes. Dude. Jeez. Anyway.
Yeah, he just wanted to make sure his L was on the stat sheet.
Gotta curb stop the confidence. All right, Forbes. This wouldn't have been that big of a deal of a loss, I guess, if the Snowhawks haven't had such issues already this year. Yeah. I'm not surprised they lost this game, but every week it's getting closer to need to win territory to continue to have a shot. And this seemed like a game that they had a chance to do so. I made my plea to Mitchie was it 2 weeks ago about his situation and what he needed to do. And I know he's doing some things to fix it. So I want to wait and see what happens with this team against some other opponents, because obviously the Diablos, they have a really, really good team. And Kearney just fit in there like a puzzle and just took them to that next level. And so this loss wasn't too much of a big deal to me or unexpected. But the Snowhawks are at this point, their backs should feel like their backs are against the wall, Yeah. And like you said, the Diablos, they don't. I'm not saying any schedule is easy, because any given Sunday, right? But if you have to have a schedule to try and push your way to a top seed, the schedule the Diablos had is a pretty decent one to have. And that's not to take anything away from the team. It just means that maybe you can get a little bit more momentum. Maybe you can give yourself better seating and just be more prepared when it comes time for the real games to start in the playoffs.
Yeah. So big win for the Diablos, man, because like I said, I think this was the toughest team left on their schedule. So that's huge. 25-20 final score. And got to play the bell for the Wizards, man. Tough loss here. They shut down another top running back shut down. Tavion Hall didn't even have more yards than Kyle Bain in this. And he had
I thought that was a typo. That's not a typo?
No, it's not a typo. He had like 14,
that's a big bell.
14 carries for 17 yards, something like that.
That's the biggest bell.
Hall down, even worse than Kinney. And Bain was doing his thing, trying to scramble. He was piecing together a solid game. He actually played pretty solid. I know it's been rough, and I know at times I was thinking about like, Bain's just not the guy. Probably gonna have to move on from him. Probably gonna have to draft somebody. But he's still 25 years old. He's got a serious upside, and so from that upside, I love the way he played within this game. I'm still gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Still gonna give him that chance. Sometimes you just have Maddens where you're just not, your archetype isn't the build no more. So when you have that, you have to learn how to adjust and play. I just feel like he's finding sometimes a good way to have good games, and sometimes he's not. Simple as that. I see these guys saying, that was slick, Pat. What you guys laugh about? Joey G trying to get me killed.
No, you gotta look at his announcement.
Did get bodied on that. Yeah, Pecan, I gotta give you the bell. Those two defenders in the corner of the end zone that bodied you for the interception. Yeah, the Snarks did almost come back though. I do want to say that, but that was crazy. That was crazy. He got killed. That's probably the hardest double hit stick I've ever seen in my life. But Leo Moon had a tough day, man, in terms of not being able to get in the end zone, passing the football. They lost their top wide receiver in Sean Acosta. He got injured in this. Vondre Bryson was running pretty decent for a minute. Got in the end zone at least, but the average wasn't the greatest. And the second half, I want to give the shout out to Kyle Bain and Cecil Austin III. Those dudes was making plays all second half, and that's how Bain should have been attacking Cecil Austin all season. I just feel like the chemistry, the first half of the season was not there at all. But in this game, bro, look at every pass he threw in the second half. Big play. Cecil Austin III just kept going to him, and they could not stop him. And the reason why he's gracing this poster here, they get the win 17-13. What's your thoughts?
I feel like I'm just over the Desperados, to be honest with you. I'm just really over and done with it. I just hate it. I hate it. Let's think about this, right? Before the season, we're sitting here, we're talking, we're like, Tavion Hall is everything. That's what they got. I mean, obviously we know Cecil Austin is a beast, right? But you can't have just a top receiver and nothing else, because you need a quarterback. He is, yes. So, but again, my point is, like, you can have two great, if there's going to be top players on a team and then everybody else is crap, one of the last positions you can have that be is the receivers, because they rely too heavily on the quarterback. And Kyle Bain has not been that guy. So the fact that Hall and Austin are like the best thing that this team has, they just shouldn't be winning. And then this guy, Tavion Hall, gets shut down like the businesses during COVID, and they still win. I don't get it, man. I don't understand it. I don't get it. The Wizards, bell for you.
Yeah,
no, stop it. Bain is not that guy. Okay?
No,
the
I'm
Desperados.
look, I'm gonna say this. He's not having a good year this year, right? But when he's actually playing well, that's when they win. Even last year, when they won because he was throwing the ball and not having these interceptions. Right now, he's having these cross-body throws and weird stuff happen, and he's getting some turnovers and stuff like that. But even in those games where he's having that, he's killing the game on the ground so much that it kind of balances things out. But, I can't get too mad either, because this is still like the real identity of the Desperados team, right? They're supposed to still be tough to beat because they got a lot of youth and all this other stuff and talent on the team with certain players. But they're 6-5. That's not the greatest record. That's not the greatest record, and I don't expect them. Like, this is really what the Desperados should be, but they could put up a fight. And if Kyle
I just don't
Bain's
think the Wizards should be losing this game.
No, they shouldn't. I had the Wizards winning. I had the Wizards winning. That's why I gave them the bell early on, and of course I gave yours too. So double bell. This is a triple going.
What?
I said I gave a bell. I said I gave a bell. Yeah.
And you know what? Pat just said, "Well, they have a defense." You guys want to know what their defense is?
Their
Let's run
defense
this.
is
Let's
they're
run
fast,
down this
though.
really quick.
They're
Stop.
no, look at the defense, man.
No,
Gage is
I'm
a
looking.
dog. Yo,
Neon Sports.
Keno
Let's look at this.
Thetford.
Look
Shout
at
out
this.
to Keno Thetford. This dude's got 10 sacks. Was a steal
He's
of a pick.
he's getting a
killing
pass
right now.
because he's a rookie. He should be a 78.
He's
Let's run
dogging.
down this entire starting unit's overalls, okay? We had 85. Best overall in the entire team, Jonathan Gage. 81, 78, 73.
Dogs.
73. Oh, let's go down here. We got 82, 77,
Dogs.
75. Let's go to the secondary. Maybe they got some good stuff there. No. 83, 82, 79, 75, 72. No, they don't have a
Fire.
defense.
That's
Stop it.
Fire. What?
Stop it.
Who's messing with them boys? But nah, for real, they got good players in the right spots that have good attributes in the right spots. And that's why I kind of felt like even the years prior where they got wins, Tavion Hall gets it going. Him and his connection and work, the way he works with Kyle Bain, keeps the offense going. When he's throwing the ball to Cecil Austin, keeps the offense going. So they ain't got to worry about offense really like that. If Kyle Bain's on, the defense can make plays because their secondary, their entire secondary is like youthful in a cornerback situation.
Yeah.
Like they're like that. They just got Chester Brace was a youthful guy, but then they just drafted and got Jace Jordan, who's a dog. And I'll play a bell for myself because Jace, I'm sorry I did not have you throughout this season rocking your gear.
Wow.
You guys been looking terrible out there with the swag.
Wow.
But I keep forgetting to get back on PC to figure out what your gear was. I don't think he's been around too for quite a bit. Watching the games, maybe he got hot that his gear wasn't on or something like that. I don't know. But honestly, he hasn't been around anyway like that. But hit me up if you know the gear, so I don't have to go through and check that. But I mean, I keep forgetting, but hopefully I get it.
Lito says he only had 3 catches allowed to Austin. How many yards was it for, Lito?
Austin was cooking, bro. I ain't going, and it was you. It was you too, Leets. He was cooking legally.
I'm going to, Lito. You brought this to yourself. You needed to make this comment. So now this is where we're at.
Turn Lito.
How many yards, Lito? Why don't you tell us?
Lito Burrito got cooked.
Did you see a little bit of that matchup with Antlers? You know,
man.
in your rear view, just sort of gotten that deer in the headlights type of situation, or what?
He said, "Not on me.
Not on him."
He's frying everybody.
All right, we'll check the tape.
Yeah. So and then last game was the Voyagers and the Red Dragons. Red Dragons sweep the Voyagers. I had the Red Dragons winning this, man. The way they did them the first game, I was like, man, it's just something about this Red Dragons team. I feel like if they can get the consistency, it's always been the same thing. They could get the consistency with the offense. And honestly, the consistency with the offense wasn't really there, but they maintained enough. They just need the offense to maintain enough so they can win the game because the defense is going to do its job. It's going to always do its job. And so Savoy, no turnovers. He didn't even have 200 yards passing, but he managed. He managed. The run game wasn't all that. Had a big game there from an Obey kid, but that management and the defense of the Red Dragons is what gave him this win. They were down, I think it was 14-0. 14-0. Red Dragons found a way to come back in this game. Second half, shutout, no points. Like, Red Dragons got to give it to them. These dudes came out here, handled business, got the sweep over the Voyagers, which is not easy to do. And if you're any team in the ARC and this team makes the playoffs, this is a team that has not lost a single playoff game, has won 2 championships, has the roster to do this, right? I'd be a little bit nervous. I'd be a little bit nervous if the Red Dragons get momentum and make it to the playoffs.
I was actually just going to say that, man. This team right now, it reminds me very, very much of the team that went to the Relo Bowl a couple years ago. The way they're winning these games. They're not dominating really anybody on offense. Savoy isn't throwing for 450, 4 touchdowns, but their defense is playing sound, and their offense is doing just enough to get them points. And this is the same exact equation that Coach Davis and these Red Dragons used to go to the Relo Bowl a couple years ago. We're not going to talk about what happened during that Relo Bowl because there's just no point in that. But
we gave the bells out then. It's good.
Huh?
I said we gave the bells out then. It's good. We remember. We won't speak on it.
I mean, you sort of did speak on it by not speaking on it, but all right, I thank you, Smitty.
But yeah,
But yeah,
scary.
this reminds me very much of that team.
Yeah, and you know who else is balling? You know, we haven't talked about him because he kind of fell off because they fell off.
Oh,
Charles Raymond.
new watcher, Zion
Shout,
Waddles.
okay, shout out to Zion. What's going on?
First time on this channel, and the games have been very fun to watch. Do y'all have a Discord by any chance?
We do, and you
We
can
got two
only
of 'em.
take part of it if you like our main one. If you are a player or staff, that's where our main diehard guys are at, so that they can communicate that way. We do have a fan zone, but our main guys are not really that active there. But it's just some area for guys to chill out, talk about RFL, or just be around some RFL content if they are not a player or anything like that. So it keeps you up to date even with what's been posted on social media. So you'll get a notification on that stuff in there. But yeah, so you can join the fan zone. Somebody can drop the fan zone Discord.
Yeah, we got it up
Yeah,
there.
Pat already did it. So yeah, you can check that out. And if you want to become a player, he says, how can I become a player? You got to go on our website, relocationfootballleague.com, and apply. I'm letting you know right now that there's a fee for that. So it is not free. Make sure you read everything on there so that you apply and do it correctly. It's a $15 fee. If you're looking to make a quarterback, though, it is $15 when you come in the door. When you apply and when you come in the door, you got to pay $30 more because that's a position that we do not want guys submitting honestly at all. But dudes do it. If you want a quarterback that bad, you got to pay up for that position, right?
Yeah.
And even then, like, the chances of you being a star is very, very slim. You could be a great college quarterback, but RFL, tough. Probably gonna be waiting years to play.
Yeah, make a lineman on either side of the line, and I guarantee you every coach will love you.
Oh, where?
So,
Yeah.
huh?
I said word.
Unless you suck.
I thought you was looking like you were about to say something else.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Right.
Just leaving it at that.
All right. So yeah. So this is the that was the recaps of the games. Let's go ahead and get a look at the new top 10 power rankings. I think number 10 is going to shock you guys. Everybody keeps saying number 10 is a curse. So
I don't even want to see this.
We'll see.
I don't even want to watch.
Yeah, when I looked at the teams, this is truly who I felt. I didn't think no other team was better. But here are the new top 10 power rankings. Number 1 state, the Thunderbirds. Steamers jump up to number 2. Explorers fall to number 3. Everything stayed the same from 4 through 7. So Celtic Tigers, Bulldogs, Diablos, Riverhogs are 4 through 7 there. Red Dragons jump up to number 8. Monarchs jump up to number 9, and then the Bulls I put at number 10 because when I looked at the other teams, yeah, there's some teams that have better records than them, but I'm gonna be honest, playing the Bulls, if those teams had to play the Bulls, I think the Bulls are the better team.
Now you just ruined it for them.
I feel like they can what number
they're
10?
on the 10 spot.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it's not a curse for them, but yeah, I like looking at the Armadillos the way they're falling off. I think the Bulls, if they play them, they could beat them. I think the Bulls, if they played the Elks, they could beat them. I think the Bulls, if they played like these other teams that I'm mentioning, like, yeah, and they're 2-0 in the conference. Look at what they just did. No, in the division. Look at what they just did. They just knocked off the Huskies, and they just blew the doors, like Dunn likes to say, off the Aviators. If they're balling like and moving like that with the defense they had, they shutting down Kinks and Kenny to 24 yards on 14 carries. Bro, Wade out here still throwing picks, and they could get dubs. So I'm gonna have to give it to the Bulls, man. I have to say that they're in the top 10 right now. Question becomes they have to prove that they belong in this category from here on out. Can they beat 3?
I feel like we got to bring them down to 11 now. I just had a revelation here.
You said the Bulls should be down to 11?
Yeah, they have to be now because, I mean, Bax is out here trying to make a saying stick that don't make any sense. Defend our dirt. Why would you want to defend dirt? What is defend our dirt? What? Come on, man. You can't just take 2 D words and put them together and just be like, this works now? I don't like it. Now they're 11. They can't be 10.
Well, yeah, I got the Bulls at 10, man. I feel like they're a solid team. Especially if they got Wade clicking. Because I mean, like, he wasn't at his best still, and he got the win this past week. Now, if he's at his best, they win.
I mean, he capitalized dirt too. Like, that was going to make it better. Then
yeah,
I don't know
if that's a weekly thing or like something you just said for this past week because I didn't see.
I don't know if that's sticking, dude. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
grass grows from dirt. Sure, it does, but I mean, you should have grass.
Photosynthesis. I mean, I said synthesis. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
This
That's what I
guy's
said.
trying to get all scientist on me in the. Did you see
Yeah.
my tweet? No, I didn't. To be honest though, with this list, guys you guys don't think you guys think I'm biased sometimes, man. I'm not. I'm really not. I don't think I should be number 3, man. I really don't.
I feel
I
like you
would.
can beat the rest of the teams underneath you,
I
though.
know, but I feel like the some of these teams has shown more consistency. Right? That's my feeling. That's my feeling because one, we've have not had that many RFL games. If we broke down where our wins have come from and our RFL games and just do RFL games, chances are I'm almost close to 500 right now because we've had a lot of big wins that way. And I feel like the Diablos, the River Hogs,
No, I did not
CT,
just film that
Bulldogs.
podcast without the meeting.
I mean, what's that?
I said, no, I did not just hit. Never mind. Good.
What? Did you just mute me?
No, I'm saying like it was something else. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just in all seriousness. I do think that I wouldn't have been shocked if we were at 5, 6, even 7. The way that the last few weeks has gone for us. And I'm not saying our team is
I
that
think
bad,
the
but I'm
times-
just looking at the schedule at the year that has played.
Well, we know you, Bill. You know you hard on yourself when you take the some L's and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
we
honestly,
suck right now, right?
I-
We suck
That's
right
what I'm
now.
talking about. Right? Who's going to literally sit here and say that the Explorers suck? Nobody's.
I am.
The Celtic Tigers, they're not beating you. Bulldogs, they haven't played enough all the way yet, and they're catching up to Celtic. But they did take an L to the Celtic Tigers, so it's like I don't see them beating you. Diablos, I feel like when they do meet you in the playoffs or the Thunderbirds or Steamers, I think it's a wrap. As for the Riverhogs, great looking team. They have to play the Celtic Tigers this week, which is why I still have them where they are in terms of rankings. And so I don't see any of these other teams actually being better than you, even though you lost to the Tigers. I was contemplating of thinking that if the Tigers are somewhere close, but I don't see the Tigers beating the Bulls. And I feel like there's other teams that got wins too that are better than the Tigers. But the Tigers are pretty up there. That's my top 10 power rankings. Getting to look at the Week 12 schedule. We only got 8 games, and before we hop into this game, I seen Southern, is it Spectre or something? Commented. He says, "Hey, watching for a while now and submitted a player last week." That's what's up, man. Appreciate you submitting a player. I don't know if you're asking like what to do next. If you are asking that, because I think it was you that messaged on the YouTube channel not too long ago.
You might have just missed my last wave, so I'll be doing that again here very shortly for if you didn't get an invite already.
Okay, yeah, you should be getting an email invite to the server. So yeah. All right. These are the amount of games we got coming up this week. It's literally 8 games, right? We only got 3 premier games and 5 primetime games. So we start off the week, and let me go ahead and pull up the Discord so I can go ahead and get a look at the power rankings. I mean, the
Chrome,
spreads.
I'm pretty sure that there's plenty of dislike for my team, and it's sort of warranted. Nobody likes top dogs for too long.
Yeah. All right, so the Condors and the Wizards. I got the Condors by 3. Usually I would probably take the Wizards. I've seen inconsistencies on both sides. But the way that the Wizards looked against the Desperados, I'm not liking it. Condors didn't look too good against the Desperados either, but they won. So to me, I don't know. I'm just going to side with the Condors. I really feel like this can go either way. But what gets me, and this is not a knock on him, but Leo Moon is still a young quarterback. And he's not doing anything really exciting. He's just playing okay football right now. But he just doesn't have that yet to lead his team to victory. And I think that's what's killing him. Not killing them in a sense where like they could do better, because honestly at this point you can't. Agramonte lost his dev, so they didn't play him all season. You get this momentum going for Leo Moon, so he can be that guy. But he's showing, he does not have that edge yet. And so for me, you got that going up against Chase McCoy. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and take Chase McCoy in that situation.
I'm going to go in this scenario, and I'm going to take the Wizards. I don't know, man. I feel like even though they had a bad loss last week against the Desperados, I just feel like this is a game where I know the Condors offense is great. I know they've been playing well. I think this is a game where the Wizards can bounce back from. So I'm going to go Wizards. And also, might I add, Smitty, how are you going to take this Tigers team has been working its you-know-what off to finally beat the Explorers. They do, right? They do this week. And then you come through on this thing, and you literally, the only logo that's not on here as a bye week or whatever is the Tigers.
Yeah,
what the heck, man?
But look at all those logos, bro. Where could I fit it?
Oh, you could have made the logos smaller, man. You could have put one up in the corner. You could have done something. You could even gave the not pictured here Tigers at least to give them some recognition here. But you're just like, nah, forget them.
I filled the role. I honestly, yeah, okay. So that's one team I guess I did not put it all in.
It's the only team that's not there. Literally the only team. They probably had one of the best wins of the week too.
Well, they're getting an auto win anyway, so that's good. All right, so we got the next game with the Steamers and Snowhawks.
Oh, jeez.
Snowhawks, man, usually you would think this would be a great game, right? In terms of like, the Snowhawks could, even though, it could happen. But the way the Steamers moving, I got the Steamers by 4 more points. I think they can make it close if they play well, but Steamers winning. That's just my opinion.
Dang, that's a really tough stretch of games right now for the Snowhawks.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go Steamers on this one with the spread. Dang.
Yeah. All right, next up we have the Monarchs versus the Lancers. Lancers just haven't been playing good. And of course, we're making an announcement now that Joseph Fontanez will be starting.
Oh, Fontanez!
And it's time for me to go in on Dunn. It's like, nah. But Dunn was talking about why, if you shouldn't play Trey Mason. I'm like, look, man, no, you should play Trey Mason for the rest of the season now. No, it doesn't make sense. They got their 6th loss to where they're not going to make the playoffs now. I tried to give Trey Mason an opportunity to show that he's still that great quarterback that he once was. He's just not it this year. So what did I do? They're not making the playoffs guaranteed now. Throw Fontanez in there. He says, I don't think he's going to be the quarterback of the future. He's a 71 overall, 21 years old. Why would I not let him play at least the second half of the season? By the end of the season, this guy could end up being, if he has some solid games, a 73, 74, and he's been active a little bit more lately now that he's been hearing about this news. He might even get some upgrades from relos, right? Why would I not get this guy to play right now when I know for a fact they don't have playoff hopes? And so, he's got a whole different philosophy. I'm not a fan of coaches, like he says, blowing things up, right? You can still, if you're struggling, most likely you're still going to struggle, but you still can put your best foot forward. You don't just blow things up. And then another thing about Dunn, when he was talking about the trades, I feel like most of the time when Dunn's talking about coming at certain coaches or certain organizations for not making trades or getting off players because he tried to get somebody from them and it didn't work out. So now he wants to sit there and say, this team should have traded because they didn't give me this. No, son. I don't agree with that at all.
This is what I think about this.
There goes Fontanez.
Look at Pat's comment. I think we're gonna have to make that stick. It's gonna be Fontanasty up in here.
That is the craziest
joke
Smitty. If I've ever seen one.
Smitty, you gotta say that on the stream. Here it comes. It's Fontanasty time.
Fontanasty. I don't know how I feel about that.
Come on.
I feel like that's a nasty joke.
That's the purpose. It's a spin on it. But anyway, this Lancers team, we knew going into this year, if they were still going to be competitive, this was going to be the last year. This team is getting older. They're getting worse, obviously, from the regression. If they're not going to play good this year, we know that they're heading towards a rebuild. So no, you shouldn't have just blown it up this year, because They have a quality quarterback, which we thought they did. They still had a quality running back. They also got one of the best running backs out of the draft this year. They have, I would say, an underrated, sneaky good receiving core. The defense, even though hasn't been the best, has always shown through and played rather well for them. So it was expected that the Lancers maybe weren't contenders, but they were expected to be in the playoffs. They were expected to at least be fighting for that situation, especially given how the Diablos fell off last year a little bit. Nobody knew what was going to happen with them. And we were expecting the Desperados to fall off. So this was their last real year with this current group of people to make a push. So no, this shouldn't have been blown up before this season because there was too many players still in place. You have to give that at least a shot, which you're doing now. Now that you realize, okay, this team just isn't going to work. Now you start transitioning to the younger generation. You see what you have because now you can go into the offseason and say, you know what, we didn't play well, but down the stretch, player A and player B played really, really well. So I'm excited for those guys. Player C and player D, I really didn't like what I saw from them. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to replace them anyway, even though they're younger, because it just doesn't seem like they're going to work. You can do that now. You can't do that at the beginning of the year when you actually have talented veterans that could lead this team if it worked. And the Lancers had that.
I'm liking that. I don't know why.
No.
Fantasy.
Don't you dare. Q, no, you don't ruin this for me and Pat. It's Fontanasty.
I don't like that one. Like Fontanasty.
Smitty, you're going to say it.
I don't think I'm gonna say
It's
that.
just like you said years ago when I told you guys that Nasun had to be his nickname. You guys said, no, that's stupid. That's corny. Guess what it is
turned
now?
out to be pretty good.
Guess what, Smitty?
Fontanasty,
And
bro.
I'm putting this down as my next Nasun.
Is Fonta not
Fontanasty.
going to work?
Fontanasty is going to be a staple in the RFL. I'm telling you.
That is Fonta not going to work, bro.
That did not work what you just did. That was bad.
Yeah, it's just not working. I'm not saying that. But
You're going to say it. It's going to slip out on accident because you're going to realize how
are y'all
awesome
trying to
it is.
mix that with like Funk Nasty?
I don't know. I just saw it in the chat and I'm here for it.
Like who's Funk
I'm
Nasty?
just-
Isn't he like a DJ or something like that?
I think
But,
it's honestly just a play on the word nasty.
I think we should get off this topic. But anyway,
I think we're right. Fontanasty
I-
rings really
I
well.
don't think you're right at all. I think this is
Put that on the back of his
topic,
jersey
bro.
next year. Fontanasty coming to the field.
Fantastic. There you go. Okay, we got some better names. I don't
Come
wanna hear
on,
that.
guys.
There you go. That's a fantastic name right there, CP. I like it. Okay,
One time I
moving on.
needed chat to back me.
Oh yeah. We didn't even talk about this game. I got the Monarchs winning by 6 or more points.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's anything to talk about there. Elks and Crusaders. I'm rolling with the Elks because they had this streak. They did lose those 2 games straight, but they came back and got a win, even though granted it was against the Shamrocks. But the Crusaders kind of been falling in that same boat. They're just not winning. So it could go either way, but I'm going to take the Elks by 3.
We changed his number to 4.
Fantastic 4. Oh,
Can we do it? We should do it.
I think we
We
got
should-
4
we should.
open, but my guy's been playing in
Fontanez.
13, so it's up.
Fontanez.
Look, he even got his fire picture that C
Look.
Beazle made for him
Look.
with his 13 on. I don't know if he wants to switch out of that. Then
Look.
now you got to change the profile pic.
Look at this. Oh, he said do it.
Do it.
Fantastic 4.
All right, man. Oh, you can't change numbers. Yeah.
Oh, knock it off.
Can't
This
change
is a
numbers.
community-driven situation.
The only reason you could change the number because you haven't touched the field. You haven't
Yeah.
touched the field, and
He's just
honestly,
getting
you had
his
the
actual
wrong number
jersey.
on anyway. Because I looked, you had number 14 on. I don't know where you had number 14 at. And somebody else had it. So if you want the 4, I'll give you
I'm
the
gonna
4.
tell you right now, bro.
I'll
I'm
give you
gonna
the
tell
4.
you right now. You are gonna take on the
Let's start
acronym of
this.
Fantastic 4. You better play
Yeah.
at least decent, man.
I'll give you the 4, man. I'll give you the 4.
You better not come out here and lay some eggs, man, because if you can't with that kind of a nickname, you could get away with it with
Fantastic
Fontanasty.
4. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm rocking with it.
Yeah,
Okay,
but you gotta perform, man.
What's your thoughts? Elks and Crusaders.
I gotta roll with my old quarterback. I'm gonna go Relo. I'm gonna go the Elks.
All right. Now we have the Dreadnoughts and the Voyagers. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like how the Voyagers have been looking lately against teams, but they're at the home field advantage. And I still know that they got a good enough defense that I think that can rattle Owen Jack, even though he's got a 6'7" behemoth out there catching anything thrown his way. I think that the Voyagers can win. I still feel like this definitely could go either way. So I'm going to just take the Voyagers by 3 or more points.
I got to go with Voyagers. I have to. We've seen this so many times the last couple years with the Voyagers. They have middle of the season, they just have these moments where we start second guessing everything, and then all of a sudden Baker's like, "Oh, let me just flip this around," and then they just start beating the crap out of dudes. So I'm gonna go Voyagers.
All right, I need to put the chat up here because I keep looking down here on my phone. Okay, I got the
Yeah,
chat.
you have to have a better place. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know when I look at the chat, but it's like right next to where I look. So like, yeah, I'm a professional though.
All right, but yeah. So the next game, gotta be game of the week, is the biggest rivalry in RFL history.
Oh yes.
Explorers and Thunderbirds. You guys played. They ended the streak, and that was at your guys' spot. Now you guys got to come all the way in Toronto. This is a tough game for you guys, especially after coming off a loss to the Tigers. Gotta side with the Thunderbirds in this, but I got it by 3 or more points because we already know this matchup can always go either way. This reason why this is the best rivalry in RFL history. But yeah, I'm taking T-Birds. Of course, you got to go with your own team. But what is your thoughts on this game? What do you feel like you need to do to win? What things concern you that you feel like is going to be the biggest challenge for you to win against the Thunderbirds and things like that? What do you want to talk about?
I feel like my biggest thing that we need to overcome, and it's easy to do this because there's no person behind the player, but DJ is right now the one of the most the biggest reason that we're struggling. I knew going into this season that we were not going to be as polished on defense. I talked to you about this before the season started. I wanted to start transitioning to the next generation. We did that. We got more. We went out and got King more. We traded away some key veterans, and I did that with intent. We're coming off of a championship. We need to make sure that we can compete for years, not just 2-3 years down the road. But this was supposed to be the year that DJ was supposed to offset that, right? Instead of it being the other way around, where it has been the last few years, where our defense and the rest of our guys sort of offset the offense's struggles. And we just haven't had it. What's that?
Nah, CP's out here in the chat. Wow.
Oh, but like, it's just, it's one of those things where it's just things haven't gone our way. DJ has had a very rough season. And last week was really the epitome of what we've been seeing all year long. There's been inconsistencies. We don't know what to expect going in week to week. We just have to hope that we can figure it out together, put the best foot forward, maybe try to lean on the run game a little bit more, even though that's tough to do against the Thunderbirds. But if you're going to be throwing pass happy like that against the Tigers, I don't want to see that happening against the Thunderbirds because that turns into 6 interceptions really fast when it's 3 against the Tigers. And that's no offense to the Tigers, but I mean, it's very apparent that the secondaries are nowhere near the same. So I just think that we needed that reality check, and I'm hoping that we can find some more balance for the rest of the year because we're facing a uphill battle already with how the season has gone.
Yeah, and you just from the excitement in the chat, that's one aspect that kind of works in your favor for this matchup. Injury. Wayne Norman is out. So Wayne Norman is such a big impact player on the defense side of the ball. Who comes in his place? First round draft pick, Daniel Severio. Now he's been improving really well, but it's going to be I think he can play. He can have a good game, right? I do feel like he's capable of having a good game. He's faster than Wayne Norman. He's got some areas that's about the same, but there's other areas that are lacking. But I feel like the speed's going to help him out a lot, especially when it comes to coverage or running in the fill in the gap. So I like the fact that he can come in and at least make that middle linebacker position still respectable. But now the issue, and my opinion for the Thunderbirds now becomes if he's leaving out of the base set, who's playing outside linebacker, right? We don't got Wayne Norman in the field. So since he's going to be on the field at all times now playing middle linebacker, now that means that you're either going to have JP Stickman out there or Juice Adams. And Juice Adams more of the young project that we're looking to really build up there in Toronto. But the issue is he's got a long way to go. There's other
Yeah.
positions that's been getting focused training dev that he's just not that guy yet, right? So for this time in this moment, I think I'm putting him even over JP Stickman. And Stickman's 26. He's fast. He's really fast. But the issue that I have with Stickman is just like he's a stick. He literally lives up to the name. He's 180 pounds at linebacker. So it's tough to really think about putting this guy on in the linebacker position against you and your offensive line on how they, get down. So I can see pancakes all day like it's IHOP. And that's why I think I'm going to go with the younger guy. I'm blanking on Juice Adams. But the thing is, at least he's only coming in base packages, right? You typically not in the base the whole entire game. But that could be an area that does hurt the Thunderbirds a bit. But the rest of the area is all healthy. They're ready to go. And so I feel like the Thunderbirds, like with the home field advantage, man, they're going to be sitting there tough, ready to go. And so we'll see how it goes. And
this is just something to say here, man. I gotta say this. All right, I wish you well, and I also don't wish you well, Severio, because obviously we're rivals. I don't want you to play good against my team, but I also want you to succeed as a player. But let's not. Come on now, Wayne Norman is a very different player, guys. Like, you could be stronger, and Pat, I see that it's a big drop off. It is. Yeah. Like, that is a significant storyline. Like, even if you want to say that maybe this one or two categories, you might have one or two overalls better than him.
He's got 96 play recognition, bro.
That's what I was just going to go to. Awareness and play rec is two of the most important attributes for CPU. That is a very smart player that is not going to be on the field for this defense this week. That's a big miss. However you want to say it, there's nothing wrong saying that either. It's not a knock on you at all. It's just the truth. So I hope you play well, but I hope you don't play well because, well, obviously,
I hope you play well.
I know you hope he plays well.
I pray God you play well.
Yeah, but like it is a big deal. And that's just the way it is, because Norman is one of the best linebackers in the entire league.
Yeah.
Behind Landolt.
Big difference.
No, you don't.
I do. But anyway.
You know.
But, all right, so that's all we got for that game. I can't wait for that. That's definitely game of the week. Another game. This is what I said. It may be 8 games, but these are all bangers. Now we have the Celtic Tigers and Riverhawks facing off each other. Both of these teams are 9-2. And this is another one of the top rivalries in the RFL, because going back to the Dre Crowell and Sylvester Leach days where they had the overtime win, this was the game where Rob was actually about to bench Dre Crowell back in the day.
Yeah. Yep.
But before that season, Sylvester Leach had a crazy overtime touchdown to win against them. So there's some crazy history between the between the Riverhogs and the Celtic Tigers that just fires always great games. And both of these teams are 9-2 meeting in Dublin. So this is going to be fire. And the Dublin just came off a tough L, and the Riverhog just came off a good win. So I don't know what to expect. I'm going to take the Celtic Tigers here, though, as the home advantage team. I think they can beat it. I still feel like there's flaws and weaknesses that can be exploited within the Riverhogs, and I just don't see them dropping 2 in a row. So I'm gonna go ahead and side with the Celtic Tigers.
I'm going with the Riverhogs. And you know what? Justin Jones is going to march out there one of those drives, and he's going to be dropping back, and he's going to think he sees a bunch of stuff, but he doesn't really see it because he's got a running back face mask on, and he's going to throw that thing right to Anthony Washington, who's going to take it all the way back to the house, man, and it's just going to be, I'm going to go Riverhogs.
All right. So then we got the last game, which is kind of crazy and ironic because, Reed was talking about Holden Wolf. And Holden Wolf, lately he's had a dip off, but he got came back with a win. Bulldogs haven't been in much action at all, really like that this year, but they're starting to get into it. They do have the home field advantage, and so the Huskies and the Bulldogs face off against each other. I'm going to take the Bulldogs. I just feel like this defense is just that good, and from that stretch of games where Holden Wolf was not playing at his best, I don't see how he's going to do that well against this Bulldogs defense. And I feel like Timmy Merritt's going to do enough to be able to lead the Bulldogs over the Huskies in this game. So I'm taking the Bulldogs.
I agree with that. I think the Bulldogs are definitely the more well-balanced and at least consistent team right now. Now, here's something. Well, I guess we'll wait because you said it's a topic. I'll leave that be.
Well, I think I already touched on the topics because I did mention all the quarterbacks that were about to get benched.
Okay, so if they lose this game, is it Calvin Poole time?
I probably still wouldn't say yet. Depends on
Just say
how
yes.
bad.
Just
No,
say
I wouldn't
yes.
say yes. It
You
still
should just
depends
say
on
yes.
how bad Wolf plays. Now,
You
if he
should just
comes out
say it,
here
though.
and throws like 4 picks and he's looking just like horrible, there's a good chance Calvin Poole might be playing the following week. Let me look at their schedule. Let me see what they got, because that's going to tell a
Pat's
lot.
going for the corny record in a single stream right now. He just said that Monday night is going to be a dog fight.
Wow. Yeah. That was some bars, I guess. Let me see schedule.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so they got the Bulls. Yeah, they got the Bulldogs this week. Then they got the Cougars, which we know they've been struggling. Then we have an auto win. Then we got the Bulls, who I think is a winnable. It is winnable. Then they play the Black Knights, and then they get 2 auto wins. So to be honest, man, I don't think Calvin Poole is going to play.
Stop it.
I really don't. I would
Put him
probably.
in.
Yeah, I don't know about Calvin Poole, but I think I might still take my chances with Holden Wolf against the Cougars. Yeah, and they got home field advantage. I think I might take them. I think I might take Holden Wolf, man. If he has a solid game against the Bulldogs, I'm keeping. And he loses, I'm keeping him in, because he's got the better chance, in my opinion, still to beat the Cougars at home. And
Just
we
realized.
still haven't seen anything yet.
You want to hear something corny?
And then if they lose to the Cougars, Calvin Poole is going to play. If they lose to the Cougars, Calvin Poole will be playing the last 2 RFL games. So I'll let him go ahead and rock out against the Bulls and the Black Knights. But yeah, the rest of those games is auto wins. If Holden Wolf is balling though, and he gets 2 wins against the Bulldogs and the Cougars, or if he looks good against the Bulldogs and then beats the Cougars, I'm letting him rock out the rest of the season. So,
I think you're right. I think Wolf has to be the quarterback for the Huskies.
nice.
Wolf, because a wolf is, if there's a dog that is closest to a wolf, it's a husky. It's almost meant. It's a meant to be scenario.
Yeah.
This is a sign. It's that you're right.
Yeah,
I should shut up.
He hasn't been showing he had that dog in him.
Oh, we're all being corny. We're all being corny. There it is. There it is. Wolf pack.
Let's go. Bars. But yeah, that's the predictions. That's the predictions for this week. And we'll go ahead and move into fun facts with Pat. We already talked about the quarterbacks really kind of in the hot seat. So let's go ahead and get into question number 1.
The only thing I'm having is some Diet Dew, Baxter.
All right, here we go.
My hard drug of choice.
Question number 1. The Explorers are trying to make the NRC championship game for the 4th straight year. Who is the only other team to accomplish that? Well, that should be easy.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Thunderbird gets it. It's the
Thunderbird. He's not allowed to. He's not allowed to.
Thunderbirds. The only time they didn't make it to the conference championship game was literally the year they didn't make the playoffs, which was in season 6, and then last year when they lost to the Gunners in the divisional round. So yeah, they made it season 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so when did you guys start? Season 4, 5, 6. No, it had to be season 5, 6, 7, and then 4th time would be 8. Yeah, so you started in season 5.
Can I just say this real quick?
What's that?
Every single season, well, apart from this one, because this one's not been a very great year in my opinion. I know that's being petty because we're 9-2, but still, every year I think, you know what, we took that next level. We're knocked one more thing off the list of what the Thunderbirds are better than us at. We went flipping undefeated and won it all, and still they got something over us. They're the only other team that did this one thing. I'm so sick of this team.
All right, question number 2. Which team made the RFL playoffs in season 1 and has not been in the playoffs since?
Oh, I know this one, I think. I'm going to pretend that I know it, and then even if I was wrong, I'm going to still say I knew what I was talking about when the answer is revealed. We got Monarchs, Huskies. Oh, come on, Q-Poc. I don't even have any hair left.
Whoever said Pioneers is tripping. Those never made it.
Pioneers.
It said who made the
Shams.
playoffs since season 1 and hasn't made it since.
Pioneers. That's a new one. Elks. Crusaders.
10.
Barons.
9. 8.
Oh, gosh. Seriously?
7.
Nobody's going to get
6,
this.
5.
Condors.
4, 3.
Desperados.
2, 1. I'm going to play the bell for anybody who named NRC teams.
I was just going to say that.
Well,
NRC did not exist in season 1.
Yeah, so the answer is Oklahoma City Bisons. Oklahoma City Bisons made the playoffs and they lost to the Columbus Explorers 34-31, and they were in the first one.
Oh, they did, huh? That's who they lost to?
Mm-hmm. Back when Russell Rennis was making a run at things.
Who was it that they lost to?
Who did I say? I didn't say the
You
Aviators.
said the Explorers.
Oh, Columbus Aviators. Oh, my bad. You play the bell for me. I'm talking about y'all not naming NRC teams. I put a whole NRC. The NRC team of the opposite team that actually did it. That's crazy. But all right. Question number 3. The last time the Explorers played the Thunderbirds, who scored the go-ahead touchdown?
Pat, whose team are you on?
The winning team.
Whose team are you on right now, Pat?
Now, this will be much faster. So this literally just happened.
Lions. Fadanukin. Stark. DJ. What? Okay. That's pretty
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bro.
We got it's Knight, man. Marcus Knight.
ESJ, bro. You played in the game and it says for the winning team and you said DJ as your answer? You're fired. You're not allowed to play this weekend.
Mighty Mouse. Yeah, Marcus Knight. And this literally just happened this year. But when last time y'all played? Like what, 3 weeks ago? Something like that?
Oh, he doesn't need reloads. That's why he said he purposely got it wrong. Yeah, right. We ain't buying that.
All right, question number 4. 2 RFL kickers have made a field goal of 60 yards or more this season. Can you name either of them? So you can name one.
Nope.
Nobody knows kickers. They don't get love like linemen out here.
Pat's getting these reloads.
So Pat just got 500.
Just tallying it up already.
ESJ got 500. Yeah.
CP says Ross, Goss, and Flota. Wiley and Rollins. I swear, if this is the question you guys get, and you couldn't get the playoff one right. Ross, Goss, and Rollins.
You only can name one name. Well, you guys do 2. If you don't do them both, I'm not going to say you got one right.
Ross, Goss, Wiley. Queenzell.
Keep looking down here.
Ross, Goss, and Queenzell. Rollins. Torres.
10, 9, 8.
Apparently Amir got
7.
it. What?
6, 5. You said Amir got it. 4.
That's
3,
what was said. Yep.
2.
No, that would be.
1.
Wouldn't that be CP then? Because if it says name one of them.
Yeah, it did say name one of them.
Yeah.
It did say name. Did he put one name down though, or did he put?
He put 2 names down, but one of the names was right.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, it got to be both right.
What?
It would make sense, right? Maybe I'm confused.
Not really.
Because
I don't think so.
Okay, but that's kind of like cheating.
But like,
you could put multiple
no.
names down and then just get one of them. So it's like you just get it. What do you guys think? I might need to ask the chat about this because
I think that should go to CP then.
Because if it says
name one, it doesn't
either of them. So
it doesn't
you
say
can name either of them. But like if you put two names down and one of them's wrong, it's like getting multiple guesses in one thing.
Well, it also doesn't say anything about doing that.
So I think if you got one in your answer, you got it. You guys feel the same way? Because honestly, I don't care.
He didn't say afterwards. He said that like 4 or 5 messages before Amir did.
Let me go look at the first message. So okay, he said.
Yeah, CP said Ross, Goss, and Rollins. And then there was like 8 messages, and then Amir said it. Just Rollins, so.
I see CP said Ross, Goss, and Flota. Goss wasn't. Here's the answer. It's Sean Rollins and Tyrus Wiley.
No, like right under ESJ's comment about Justin Tucker with the emoji is where CP said it.
Okay, and it says Sean, Ross, Goss, Rollins. Okay, that looked like one whole name. Okay.
Why don't you just give it to both of them then? Why don't we just do that? Just as they both get it.
You guys split the 500.
Oh, come on. Just give them the gosh darn payout, Smitty. Jeez Louise. This guy, you act like these relos are going somewhere. Just give it to him.
Hey man. We gonna have
this guy's like, here, I only got one Tootsie Roll. You guys need to split it. All right. I'm not giving you one of these other ones.
Hey man, you might gotta split the bag because it's like
stop.
Nah, I'm gonna give y'all 500, man. Just mess with y'all. They'd have been like, yo, go, you serious? But yeah, we're done. We're done with the questions. Open questions, man. So we got through the podcast pretty fast, under 2 hours.
I want us to revisit the Fontanasti situation.
Yeah, it don't matter if I got unlimited reloads. I'm not just passing them out.
I think we need to revisit the Fontanasti situation.
Nah, I think we voted.
I think that can be like at least, at the very least, like, you know how like in wrestling you have like your normal stage name, but you usually also have like a nickname. We could have that with Fantastic Four and Fontanasti, depending on how he's playing. Let's say he goes out on the field and he throws an interception. Like, dang, man, that was Fontanasti right there. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. And then next drive out, he scores a touchdown. That is what the Fantastic Four looks like. See? It makes sense.
I think we should just let it go, man.
I don't think we should.
I think it was horrible, man.
I think you're being a hater right now, unnecessarily. By the way,
I mean, Fantastic Four is dope, bro. Fontanasti.
It is, but we need the alternative.
What?
We need the alter ego.
I think that's for a different business.
Like just picture like a hype video. Like, these guys thought they saw the worst of me, but now it's about to get Fontanasti.
That was... Hey, where's that outage that kicked you out last time? It needs to come back. Because that was... What? Oh, no.
Think about it. And he could have a very serious look into the camera.
Straight brain cells thinking about that.
Right into the camera, too. Just like... It's time to get Fontanasti.
He said,
he's got to have
sorry to bother you, but I haven't gotten an email. Yeah, Bill said he'll be sending out emails soon. So you'll be getting some
we're trying to get a nickname to go here. I'm lightheaded from laughing at that one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I need a drink of agua right now.
Yeah, you need some sedatives also in that water. just
come on, just think about it.
Crazy. We thought about it, but
like imagine if he puts on a juke on somebody, right? And you can say like that's a nasty looking juke. You can say that's a Fontanasti looking juke.
I would say it as he's never going to juke nobody. I know that, but
what if he did?
If he did, I might pull it out. That's the only time I'm gonna say that. Pause too. That was crazy, but it's the only time I'm gonna say anything about Fontanez with Fontanasti, because it's
gonna happen. I can feel it. It's gonna happen. Even if it's by accident.
Said Bill sounds like he's auditioning for a commercial about toilet cleaner. It do sound.
What?
Sound like you had Shark Tank with plungers and the toilet seats behind you. You brought in mobile
No.
toilets.
You know what, man? I'm gonna go back and change my decision on your game.
Pitch with toilets in the backseat, talking about, yo, use this Drano called Fontanasty. Gets all the nasty stuff out your toilet. Don't have to worry about it.
You guys took a really good name and made it bad. This is
I think
horrible.
It was already bad, but
no. This was the right way to go, and you guys just ruined it. Hope you're happy with yourselves.
Anybody got any questions so we can move away from this? I don't even know if you could call this a nickname. I think it's disrespectful.
I said Agua. Agua. What is wrong with Agua?
Nah, not Agua.
I'm talking to frame drop. And what do you mean I said Agua like that? How else am I supposed to say it?
Said, yeah, nobody should ask about single digits. That's not happening. Sorry.
Except the zeros.
Nah, zeros. No zeros.
Oh, we tried.
Yeah. There's a 0 chance of that happening. I'm gonna let you guys know right now.
Oh, nice pun there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I try my best.
But Fontanasty is not okay.
I try. Fontanasty? Nah, that's nasty. No.
When will we begin the playoff watch?
I think it starts in the file next week, don't it?
Yeah, it does. I believe so. Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to start that next week where we have we'll have to have Forbes get on that. Forbes is pretty good about breaking everything down and telling us.
He gets to wear the 8.
Yeah.
He's stamped.
Because he's the best receiver ever.
He's one of the best receivers.
Keith Guyton doesn't get to wear single digits, so
Keith Guyton's got more yards than my guy. And he's got more touchdowns. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Guyton's better.
I'm just saying.
And he's never had a season without 1,000 yards.
I'm just
just saying.
Who's the only guy that wears a single digit outside of his normal
that's cool.
numbers? It's cool. CJ.
Yeah,
so.
But you can wear an 8. But how many times you seen a guy wear a fire number and he was trash? I'm just saying.
I mean, there's plenty of dudes out there. Like, you think Michael Jordan's the only person who's ever worn the number 23?
Yeah, but he was the GOAT.
Yeah, but there's been crappy players who wore 23.
I don't care if he wore 71. 71 would have been goated because it's Michael Jordan.
My point is still there because somebody else can wear 71 and still play like crap. So that argument is invalid. That kills your argument right there.
No, this is what kills your argument.
Yeah, got you on your little catchphrase in the thing.
Wide receiver is the only one that can wear 8. Now, if I put 8 on Keith Guyton, that's a different story. Because guess what? He would be the better 8. He's the better 8.
I got you on that one. I got you.
How you got me? How you got me?
I got you.
That's
it.
How?
If you knew, you knew.
This? I feel like the chat's just going to.
All I'm saying is you said that nobody who wears a fire number has ever played bad or something like that, or nobody ever wearing a fire number.
I was saying that a number doesn't define how great a player is.
Yeah, see, Zeno gets it. Stolen finisher. Yeah, I finished it. Dunzo.
Oh, because you said what I said. You said what I said with no facts.
I said that kills your argument right there. You're done.
Yeah, you can't say what I said after that with no facts.
I just did.
You can't. He's the only one that can wear the number 8. If Keith Guyton wore number 8, he would have been the best 8 in history.
No, he wouldn't have.
Yes, he would. He's better than C.J. Robinson career-wise. He's never had a season with less than 1,000 yards, even after homeboy fell off.
Bro, you think just because we're on Zoom right now doesn't mean I can't drop kick you right now?
I mean, you really can't. I mean, that's physically impossible. But I mean, if you want to go ahead and try it, be my guest.
Whatever.
I'll make sure to have the solo cam ready so that way when your camera cuts out, you kick it. Then we're still going. But
hey, I saw a video.
Sort of schedule though for you guys. Go ahead.
That's it.
You gonna try the drop kick? I'm trying to see this. Prove it. Yeah, there we go.
Oh no! Oh, pull the hammy. Can't do it.
All right, but
ESJ asked me if I would care if single digits were allowed. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I used to be the guy that was completely against this, completely. But I have dabbled in the single digit wearing stratosphere.
Trash.
I am not against it with running backs, receivers, and corners and safeties.
Not happening.
I'm still not a fan of linebackers or tight ends or anybody else, but the skill positions, I'm okay with. I think it looks okay. Not too much,
Going
but
soft on me, Bill.
you know, Smitty, sometimes you just
Get
got to
off my
be able to
podcast.
get in with the new crowd. You know, I mean, it's not my fault that you're just too old for this kind of situation.
It's terrible. I'm too old.
I'm hip. You know.
Nah, no.
Yeah,
I don't think you are.
I'm with the in
You
crowd.
can't say I'm too old and you're bald.
I literally can. I just did.
Yeah, you're wrong. Literally, and any other type of way you could say it, even in fantasy, you're wrong. I dabble.
Yeah, right there. Smitty Boomer confirmed.
Smitty Boomer confirmed.
Yeah.
I still got hair. So
back in my day, we had to wear number 67.
Bill, you know you was probably playing with guys that was wearing number 67.
Yeah, everybody did. They're called offensive linemen.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you probably had skill guys. You didn't have no linebackers out there wearing the traditional numbers, the non-traditional numbers like number 6, number 4. You guy was out
there. Actually,
and
the last time I played football, our edge rusher wore number 18, and our linebacker wore number 6.
Trash. He was trash though, wasn't he?
Pretty good.
He was good.
No. Nah. Yeah.
Did he make the league?
He led the league in sacks.
He led the league in sacks. What league was this?
He did. Huh?
I said, what league was this?
This was a semi-pro league around my area.
Oh, wow, it's not the NFL. But
of course not. What, did I ever say I was an NFL player?
I'm just saying. There's a couple guys you think's good.
It's better than high school.
In the NFL. But all right. So anybody got any other questions that does not have anything to do with jersey numbers, because it's not happening.
I tried, guys.
Not about to have us out here looking like a circus. We can do that in college, not in the pros. I don't know where that
I
NFL
was not
got
a
soft,
center.
but no sir. So is the Explorers and the Thunderbirds the best rivalry in the league? Yes, it is.
Yeah. When I played Mac, I played, believe it or not, because I've been smaller in my day. I played receiver / tight end, and I played linebacker and D end, like edge rush, depending on the year and depending on the situation. I could do everything. I could catch the ball like Randy Moss, but I had the speed of like Tom Brady.
All of this while still being balled at 18.
Yeah. Where all of a sudden did this come from? Like this is a secret.
It's just Smitty act like he wore a long sleeve jersey. Well, if you look at my huddle, I actually did. But at least I got to wear number 3.
I'm 6'1".
Smitty, can we get all of season 8 game videos listed on YouTube? Man, finding the time to do that and uncheck those videos and stuff is tough, man. I really do got a lot going on. But I am going to do it. I'm going to try to do it by season. But I did the first season, and I think I did the second. If not, then I got to go on season 2 and all that. So it's not been easy. But I'm just going through the playlist and unchecking them so that way I could do that, because I definitely don't want to just make everything
such a pain.
public. It's crazy, man.
Because you can't do like heaps of videos.
Yeah.
You literally have to do so like you click in to like onto your content page, and then it has your list of just all the videos, and you have to click into each one, go to the area where if it's public or not, change it, hit save, back out, go back. It's just such a long process. It really is. I wish there was a way to just spam it to where turn all videos on or off or something like that.
Yeah. All right, it says if you want, I can help. Well, I am Bill with the access. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, my guy.
Have fun with that.
Going to have to do that by myself.
You can Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Can you really though?
Mass select videos and flip them.
I know there's a little box to mass select. I just didn't know you could actually change that. I didn't know you could change that though from that screen without going into
because of the in between
content
stuff though. You can't I don't think that it be you can't do that, because there's gonna be some things that aren't supposed to be shown. They're gonna get shown. They're behind the scenes. That's kind of how I feel.
But what if you went through, right? deleted all the videos that shouldn't be shown, right?
Well, that's
and then just mass.
That's just as much videos, probably as much as like about half at least of the amount of videos that we've ever had posted. Because think about all the premiere games that are actually recorded. You know what I'm saying? That are sitting there.
Now I see what you're saying.
There's a crap ton of videos that are actually like.
Yeah, because when we do the premiere games, what he's saying, guys, is like a lot of those games will get streamed to the league channel unlisted and then downloaded and re-uploaded so that they show at the proper time when they go live.
Yeah.
So essentially almost every video for premiere game would be double.
We've been doing that since College Series 2.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of videos, RFL included. So
and they're all titled as well, Frame Drop, which is the issue. They're all titled the way they're supposed to be. So if we do season 8, it's still going to pull all those games that aren't supposed to be shown because they were previous recordings or whatever.
Yeah. So
I know there's a way to streamline it. It's just a matter of just going in and doing it and sitting down for a couple hours.
I've just been going through the podcast, like through the not the podcast, through the playlist, and just was like whatever is on that playlist from week to week, I just switch it to public. And I'm trying to do it like a season at a time at a day that I got, but I haven't had any free days as of late.
That's the other issue though, Frame Drop, because almost 80% of the videos are live streams.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, you could do live streams by hand, but that's still like a majority of the videos. If you think about it, only our highlight videos are not live streams.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a long process regardless. And that's okay. It'll just take longer. But, as always, if you guys click on playlists, which come on now, who doesn't watch by playlists anyway? If you're into watching series, you can see everything there. They're all still there.
And we're not like in the way that the league is, it's not like I've seen some guys kind of separate their games, their league or whatever by season in one big playlist. Ours is split by week, even down to the highlights. So like you guys will literally get to see, like, can go through seasons exactly where you want to see them. So the playlist, all the games are still there, right? So go ahead, tune into those. Only thing about, I definitely need to get them up because it's talking about the channel got 91,000 views total. It was like, nah, we got over 2-3 million now. So that's the only reason I want to make them back.
And if just to let them know, because I see it here, Southern Spectre, if you are still watching, I just saw the email that you sent, so we'll get it just taken care of. Okay, just hang tight.
All right. We could get one more minute. I don't see no more questions.
Yeah, all jokes aside though, Smitty, I had hands of gold when it came to catching a football, man, back in my day.
Yeah.
I was so good at catching. I seriously, one-handers, no problem. Like I just wasn't very fast. I couldn't run that fast. But dude, I'd catch anything that you threw to me.
I was a professional. Good, Southern Spectre. He's still here. Yeah, he ain't being a nuisance. I mean,
no, you're good. I'm just letting you know that I see it, so that you know that it's we do have it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to test it.
No, it's staying. I fixed it. I removed the extra thing that Smitty added, thinking it was going to help, and it's just back to the way it was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. It says, who do you think takes the ARC South? I'm not even going to answer that because it's like the North kind of almost. Well, not really. It is because like the records are literally spaced out, but I feel like anybody take an L, man, that thing's flipping. So I don't feel like the Armadillos, even though they lead it, are going to do it, man. I just don't feel like that. I don't feel like the Bisons definitely are going to do it because they already have taken L's within the division quite a bit.
I think it's still gonna. I think it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be either
the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, I'm more confident right now in the Miners.
But yeah, I think the Miners have the best chance because they even beat the Dreadnoughts. So yeah, the Miners might win that thing 3 times in a row and get eliminated in the first round for 3 times in a row. It's like, yeah, I gotta win the first round, man. If y'all do make it like that.
Yeah, I feel like the Armadillos will be good, but I just feel like they're gonna end up. They're not gonna make noise if they make it to the playoffs. I just don't think they're that team
anybody
yet.
in the South is, but I don't even feel like they'll win the division, to be honest. Like they
Yeah,
had
I
a
don't
hot
either.
start, but then it's just like they just fell off bad. Let me see. Let me look at the schedule. Yeah, because they took the loss to OKC. They took the loss to the Bisons, which they shouldn't have took that L. That's a game they should have won. And they just and they only they got 3 losses already in the division. All 3 of their losses came from the division, so that's not
Really?
good. Yeah,
Oh
because
wow.
both were from the Dreadnoughts, and then one was from the Bisons, and they haven't played the. They did beat the Miners. They beat the Miners once, so they have to play the Miners and the Bisons again, and that's it. But look at who they got after this week, man. They got a bye week this week. Then they got the Red Dragons. Then the Miners, who were playing better at this point compared to the first time they played them, which was back in week 2. Then they played the Bisons again, who was actually playing a little bit better than how they started off, and they already beat them. Then they play the Voyagers, which, yeah. Then they get an auto win, and then the Black Knights, which is always, you know what I mean? Like, definitely should probably beat the Black Knights, but the way they playing at times, and you're not that top-end team, you could lose to them. So, like, this ending here, I can see them losing to the Red Dragons. I could see them losing to the Miners the second time around. I could probably see them splitting and getting even with the Bisons. I could see them taking an L to the Voyagers. So what would it be? Okay, they're 8-3 now. Yeah, 8-3. So that would be 8-4, 8-5, 9-5, 9-6, 10-6, 11-6. So I could see them finishing 11-6. They can make the playoffs if they beat either 3 of these teams, with also getting that win over the Bisons. And the Black Knights is the Voyagers, Miners, and the Red Dragons. I think their best shot is against the Miners. And if the Voyagers keep playing up and down, you never know. So they got a shot, but I don't feel confident in that schedule of them doing that.
You want to know something?
What's that?
Very random, but have you ever heard of DH Gate?
No.
Bro. So this is like 3 months ago. I was always like scared to try it, but I have a buddy that I work with that uses it, and he's like, "Hey man, it's legit." So he basically said, it's for like merchandise, right? It's like a knockoff site. I think it's somewhere in Asia that it's run from, but it's like I gave him $30, $27 to be exact, and I got a full on stitched NFL jersey, like legit one, $30.
Yeah,
Not
I
like
actually
the
got
not
word from I actually got word from Bees. He's actually about to open up a custom jersey business.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow,
it's like
nice.
I'd rather go with my boy if that's you know what I mean. So like he
Yeah.
literally just told me that today. Like that's
I
crazy.
couldn't believe
But that's
it.
dope.
'Cause it's
$30.
like
That's crazy.
$30 for a Justin Jefferson jersey, and it's legit. Like even like the NFL little logo thing on the collar is like a patch. It's not like just heat on there with whatever it's called. But yeah, man, it finally came in. It took like 3 months to get here, but dang man, that was worth it because those things like $300-$400 online.
Yeah, and see, this is what Dunn's talking about in the chat right now, where he got 3 auto wins left. Then he has to win 2 of the last 3, so he has to beat the Armadillos, which I think he can. I don't feel like he could beat the Riverhogs. And then he has to play the Dreadnoughts, which I think he can win. Yeah, they're definitely more likely to win 2 out of 3 games and make the playoffs.
That's
so
why
that
I think the Miners are my favorite.
Yeah, they'll be 12-5. What is the Dreadnoughts working with? I just want to see what their schedule, because I would say the Miners are going to win the South again.
I think I think I don't think they're gonna beat the Riverhogs though. I can see Dillo's Dreadnoughts,
and I could see them still taking an L to the Armadillos possibly.
Yeah, we saw that. Did that happen earlier this year? Or they ended up winning that game?
So they got blown out by the Dillos, but that was back in week 2. But this is what I would say: if you take a loss to the Dillos, that's where it gets scary. because then that's when you got to play the Riverhogs. And yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying it's the easiest road, but it might be the easiest compared to everyone else in your division. Because if you look at the Dreadnoughts, they're playing the Voyagers this week. Then they play the Bisons, who I think they can beat. They play the Pioneers, who I think they can beat. Aviators, I feel like the Aviators beat them, to be honest. Then they play the Miners. I do feel like the Miners will beat them, but it is a game that they can win too. And then they play the Red Dragons. I still feel like that's much harder than what the Miners have to face off against. So yeah, I think the Miners are going to win the South. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can if there isn't any more questions, we can end right now. Now I'll probably just be chilling in VC, guys. So if you guys want to just talk after this, you guys in the Discord.
Just to close this out, like I don't know if you caught before what everybody was laughing about in the chat with what Pat said.
Mm.
It was I'll just say it was a little bit of a play on words, according to recent things that have happened in the RFL, and that's why everybody was like laughing at stuff.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I'll tell you afterwards, because I know you don't like putting things out there, so I'll tell you after we're done.
I was say, does it sound like? I mean, if it's like that, is it something that should have even been in the chat?
No, it wasn't like that. No,
okay.
No, it wasn't like that.
All right, then, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us, man. I appreciate you guys coming in. If you guys want to go ahead and ask more questions, just talk with us. Realistically, we got an adult channel in the Discord for guys. So, yeah, keeping the PG on the podcast, and we're out of here. Peace. Oh, yeah. Game day tomorrow, though, too, guys. Show that schedule one more time. Condors and Wizards. 8 o'clock at night. Week 12.